We got Daiquan Walker on the credentials, and he is a Philly legend. He's a UCF legend. He is a credit legend. So some of his accolades include being a high school state champion in the state of Philadelphia, class of 1A. He was first team all state at UCF, played 4 years, left the school top 10 in school history in career assists and games played. You know what I'm saying? Then we transitioned to going overseas, playing ball for a couple years, and then now we've created, or at the same time playing ball, I think we created NoLackin, Mr. NoLackin Apparel, and then at the same time we building generational wealth. We talking about credit, we building credit, and I think you got a cheat code. So, like I said, welcome to
Definitely.
the show. I'm hyped to have you. It's about to be a dope conversation, and you know what I'm saying, we know each other from UCF, so it's a pleasure. Welcome.
Nah, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for having me. Like you
Yeah.
said, as soon as you let me know, I was like, all right, we're gonna press the button today and get it done.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Like I said, this is dope. You know what I'm saying? The CR evolution from 18 to now 25, 26, 27. It's a blessing. So where does no lacking come from? Where does that nickname come? Where did it start? It was at high school, college.
Yeah, so that started in high school, like early ninth, 10th grade. I was always known for like working super hard, but I was just like real in tune to like the Chicago drill music. So I used to like Lil Durk, Chief Keef, just follow all of them. And that was a term that they always used, and it meant to like stay on point, like you're not slacking. And that was a term that really described me and how I live like day to day. In terms of like me approaching my basketball career, I was always like working out 2, 3, 4 times a day. Like I wasn't slacking. Like if you was my competition, you wasn't outworking me, and you was never catching me like not working out and not like being focused. So that's really where that derived from, and I just like ran with it, and everybody just know me for using that word.
Yeah, it's also very catchy. No lacking. It's just
Almost definitely.
smooth. It's smooth. It's smooth. And you bring up a great point about, you said your work ethic and working two, 3 times, 2, 3, or 4 times a day. When would you say that started for you? Was that like middle school or high school?
That started in early, from when I first like picked up a basketball.
Mm,
I always knew that I had to work in order to get to where I wanted to go. Like at a young age, like I always knew. Like I'm from North Philadelphia, a section called Badlands. Like you get to see a lot like growing up. So I always just wanted more. I always wanted more. I always was just aware that it was more, even before I had the opportunity to see it. And I knew that just hard work somehow was going to like connect the dots for me, and allow me to be able to experience like whatever that more was that I wanted. So that's what.
So you said you're from the Badlands, so of Philly, North Philly. I'm not familiar with Philly, so can you describe what that neighborhood was like, what that environment was like?
Yeah, so like just to tell you right now, last year 2020 it was like the top two cities for like I think it was homicide. So
Mm,
Chicago was number one, Philly was number two. So like I'm from a section that's called Badlands. So like just to tell you about that, like there's a lot of crime, it's a lot of violence. Our city is always like number one and number two when it comes to like homicides, like in terms of the United States of America. So just my section in North Philly, we just known for just a lot of crime, a lot of violence. It's a lot of negativity that overshadows everything that's going on. Like I go home and I walk outside my house and I see people getting served. I see like fiends like on my corner. I gotta kick them off my step. Like just different stuff like that. Just coming in. So like at a young age, you get exposed to all of that. Like you see that. Like that's what you see. So I mean, you just at any given time you could be in your living room and shots could start ringing out, and your mom would just tell you like, get on the floor until the shots go. Like that's just like a drill. Like you have a fire drill in school. Like everybody know like when the shots start,
That's
right.
crazy, bro.
Everybody know like in Philly, like when the shots start ringing out, like just go on the floor and you wait until the fire. So like in terms like we was talking off the camera a little bit like trauma and things like that, like being an adult now and understanding some of those things. That's those are considered like normal things like to do. Where I'm from and where I come from in Philly. So yeah, that's normal.
So, and to your point, it's sad that it has become normal, and it's also amazing that we have so much tunnel vision. You know what I'm saying? To block out, or not even we, but let's focus on you. You had so much tunnel vision and courage and tenacity to fight through the distractions and fight through the traumatic situations. So how how did you start building that internal fortitude and tunnel vision? What do you think helped start building that foundation? Because not everyone is able to escape that.
Right.
It's the projects for a reason. Like the goal is to keep you locked in and stay
Right.
there forever. So like, how did you start building the keys and foundation to overcome the challenges you were faced?
I just think I don't know, God just put something in me like to just like I said, like the awareness. Like I just always knew I was special. I know I was different. I know I wasn't like better than anybody. Because we all live in the same place. Like I look down the street, I might have a little bit more like newer sneaks, whatever the case may be, but like, down the street, like everybody was like struggling and we was going through what we was going through. My mom would work 2, 3 jobs just to make sure me and my sister we had everything that we wanted. So I never really had to like turn to the streets. All of my friends, all of my family, they all in the streets. So like I'm like an anomaly. So like just like you said, like I'm just like a sort them out. I'm like the person who kept that tunnel vision. And I guess it was just me, like just God just instilling that awareness in me to like want more, to know and understand like right from wrong, and to understand that I had a talent and I was just special. Like I always felt like I was special, no matter if it was like basketball or not. So I always knew like it was a better way to be able to do things, and I just knew like I would align with whatever that better way was. And like as I got older, I figured out like okay, like basketball that's my way out. And once I attached myself to that, it was like it was no turning back. That was like how I was just super focused on that.
Mm. Yeah, and what you said is like, okay. So when you say God, did you grow up going to church a lot, or like did you just pray on your own?
No, not at all. Like me and my mom, we never stepped in the church together, like
Mhm.
ever. Like
Mhm. So
we go ahead.
no, I was kind of saying like, what makes you say God? Like,
I say God. I say God because like that's just like even though I wasn't like physically stepping into a church, like I would go to a church like every here and there with like one of my best friends, like Marcus Thomas. We would go to like I would ask his mom or ask him like let me go to church with y'all. Go to church with them on Sundays. I don't know. It was just something that I just would do. And like as a kid, like you get exposed to certain things where you like okay, you understand like God and the concept and Jesus and how things is supposed to work. So I just always attached like the way that I felt, with God, and that's what I felt. And growing up, I was able to understand like that's what it was.
dope, dope. No, I'm just asking because I feel like the same in terms of, I feel like God is always there to protect me and guide me. And I'm not a person that really goes to church. I don't really go to church. As a youngin, we would go somewhat consistently, and then after I started becoming young, well, and then high school, I went to private school, so
Right.
I was Catholic. So I guess I went to church, but I like I said, I wouldn't go consistently, but I would just pray on my own, And I think it's a good message of like, you don't need um a religion home base, you know, to have a good relationship with God. Like all you need to do is just say what's up, or probably by your actions. You probably just going off, I know if I do good things, I'm gonna get good. I know if I do bad things, I'm gonna get bad. Like you said,
Sure.
going back to the basics. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's important to share that. You know, you don't need a, a religious hub just to have relationship with God, and it's not excluded to only those, you know, are more blessed
Oh,
than others.
definitely. Yeah, that's definitely important. Just like you said, like you don't like you say, you don't need a religious hub. Like it's so many, different, religions, and I just, yeah, I don't think that you need one for real.
Yeah, yeah, that's all. That's
I won't get too deep into it, but
yeah, yeah, exactly. Religion is very, you know, touchy feely, but at the same time, we all, that one thing about religion, we all have God. Now moving on to high school, right? So what was what was your blueprint in order to go play college basketball?
my blueprint, like
Mhm.
I didn't really have a blueprint. I knew I was talented and I was better than like a lot of people in the country at a young age. So like going into like middle school, and I just knew like a lot of the people that I was around that was in my city, like even a lot of people that was like considered better than me. When I was working in the gym 2, 3, 4 times a day, like I knew nobody was even working out 1 time a day, like consistently. So I always knew, like if you see like the interview with Kobe, you'll hear him talk about like how he woke up at 6 o'clock, and then he'll go home, then he'll work out at 8, and then he'll work out at 12, and he just talk about like how that compounds, just like interest, like how it compounds over time. Like I always knew that nobody was going to catch me. Like nobody where I was from. Like it didn't matter if it took me until my 12th grade year, or whatever the case may have been. Like I was always going to surpass him. And I just felt like that just kept me one up, and that just kept my confidence. Like even though my confidence was low, because like in high school, freshman and sophomore year, like I only really played 2 years of like varsity basketball. Like my first 2 years, like I went to Florida, I played at American Heritage. I was like pretty much just like there for 6 months, and then I went to back to Roman Catholic in Philly, finished out the year, and I was playing JV majority of the time. I didn't really get that many varsity minutes, so like when I would go out on varsity, like I would be like nervous, like you feel me, like I ain't had no experience, like it's just like the intensity. So like I'm just like in a shell, like yo, like can I make this move? Can I not make this move? And like it's just a different feel because I didn't have no experience like playing varsity ball. So I was on JV. Sophomore year, high school, same thing. I was on JV, probably averaging like over 30 points on JV, whatever. Coaches just didn't feel like I was good enough. Like they had players that was, considered better than me at the time, which I knew. And if anybody, had a good set of eyes, they could see like I was better. So I just always, right. So I just always felt like I needed an opportunity, and that was it. Fortunately, like, my sophomore year, I had 2 of my friends. Well, after my freshman year, I had 2 of my friends from Roman Catholic leave and went to my high school, where I really like made my name, made my staple in the city. And I was able to get under a coach that believed in me and just allowed me to just be myself and then play my game. And understood me, like more importantly. So like once I was able to do that, like my friends actually gave me the confidence. Like they was like, oh, leave now. Like I was gonna leave as a sophomore. I was like, nah, I'm gonna stay. Things gonna change. Like coach gonna understand. Like, nah, he did it. So I was just like, all right, I'm out. Like I'm not trying to do that. And then it was like another thing where as though they weren't trying to like pay my tuition. So I was like, oh, I'm really out. And then when I was out, they was like, nah, cause that summer, like you could just really see how good I was getting, like sophomore going into junior year. And it was like, oh, like how you get this good? I'm like what the fuck? Like I've been this good. Like what do you mean? Like, and then they were just like trying to like give me money on the side and like pay my tuition. But after that time, I was just like, I'm out. Like it is what it is. Like I'm going pub, which is a public school because I was in a Catholic school at the time. I'm going to the pub, and I played under Rob Moore. I played with a bunch of my friends that I love. Like I went from wearing like school uniform, all
Yeah.
boys, to like now I'm in a pub. I can go to school, drip on, like not wearing a uniform. So like I was loving it. Like females, I got girls in my school. Like I've never seen that. So like it was just a whole different vibe. Like I just felt like I had the road in my hand. I was still continuously like working hard, but I just felt like all right, I had the opportunity to really like play under somebody that's not gonna put restraints on me. Like I can go make 3 turnovers straight and I'm not coming out the game. So like just having that confidence to like no, I could pull from half court and I'm good. Yeah, it just was like it was fun. So
It's funny. Well, it's funny how I have one similarity with you in terms of when I left my school, they did the same exact thing, but I was not nearly as talented as you were. I wasn't really athletically talented. I was academically talented, I guess, but it's funny how they did the same thing as if, you know, as soon as you actually show them like I didn't appreciate how y'all been treating me.
right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like now you want to come back and double back. And I remember this one lady like
No U
literally
turns,
cried.
bro.
Yeah, literally cried and was I'm like, I've never even met you. Never had a combo with you. You
Right.
lying? You offer me a free year? It's like, where was this energy years ago? Because like you, we had the same situation. My mom, 2, 3 jobs, trying to finesse the tuition situation, and it's like, you know what it is. We know what we bring to the table. We've been here long enough, and we have to threaten, and we have to actually leave to get that respect and that appreciation. It's like now it's a handout. It's like a slap in the like backhanded. It's like
Yeah, for
yeah.
sure, bro. Like handing me that money, that was the worst thing. I was like, what the fuck? Like where this been at the whole time I've been at this school, bro?
So now, like, how did you get those your college offers? Like, was it a tournament? Was it just they seen you on the high school circuit? Like, was it a camp? Like, how did you start collecting offers? Because you were a late bloomer too.
Yeah, so like my mentor, Guillermo Baitler, he always did a good job of networking. I don't know how he was getting me into these camps, but like he would always make sure that I was good. Like get me in an NBA camp, like get me in like there was a camp in San Diego, like when I was in middle school, Adidas All American camp, like just making sure that I was able to get in those camps and showcase, my games and my skills. So like my first offer, that's what you was asking me about my first offer. My
Yeah.
first offer came in like middle school, to be honest with you. It came in like middle school. I went to Mariana Bersetti in middle school. And I'm trying to think what was the school that came. But I remember the coaches ended up at Hofstra, but they gave me an offer. But the one that I really remember was when I was in 10th grade, my 10th grade going into my junior year of summer. Um, I'm sorry, it might have been my 10th grade. It might have been my ninth going into my 10th grade summer, whatever it was. So Andy Ansfield, I don't know if he's still at USC, but I think he was at
Yeah, yeah, he's
FSU.
still there. Yep.
Andy Ansfield, he came in, he was there, he was talking to me, my mentor, let us know he was an NBA coach and worked with, Paul Pierce and different things like that. But he offered me like right there. I think he was at Florida State at the time. And
Okay.
he offered me, he said like, like I'm gonna offer you pretty much like you got to offer from me, like I want you to come. So like that was like one of the ones that stood out to me a lot. But like yeah, that was pretty much it. And then like the rest they just started. Like I would get a whole lot of interest pouring in. Like would have like good relationships with a couple schools. But yeah, that was really how the first ones happened.
Talk about your mentor if you can, and talk about the impact because from that brief, excerpt, it sounds like your mentor sounds like camps really got you your offers, you know, in terms of
Yeah,
you
yeah,
being
most
in these
definitely.
camps and then from there. So can you talk about your mentor and the impact he had on your adolescent life and as far
Yeah,
as
so like, yeah, so I'll say this, like, just from me explaining to you, like, you know, my environment where I was at, like, most the majority of my friends is like dead or in jail, like literally like dead right now, or in jail or something like that. So like growing up, like that's just the options that we had, like as kids. Like, it's either you want to be like super talented in like sports, basketball, that's it, or it's kind of like there's no other outlet. You're gonna be a rapper, like, but you have to be an entertainer, that's it, or you wanna do what everybody else is doing, and that's just, you know, activity like selling drugs and just being in the streets, like that stuff that come with you being in the street. So like that's really your only like three options, really, just like, or two. You can say you want to play basketball, or you want to rap, or you want to sell drugs. That's it, or you're gonna do a little bit of the two. So it's just like, so that's just like really your option. So like growing up, like people is like who were my role models. Like I know you were saying something about that, like my role models. Like I looked up to the people that I could see, like that had the things that I wanted. Like even though I knew it was a better way, but like those were my role models. Like everybody in the streets, like um, pretty much like everybody who had the girls, who had the cars, who had the chains, who had the watches, you know, they living the life that they wanted to live. Like everybody loved them. Like that was people in the streets. Like that's who I looked up to. That's who we looked up to. That's all we had. Like that's our like, you know, the prominent figures of our neighborhood. And that's who we see. Like they might tell you like, oh, don't do this and don't do that, young boy, whatever the case may be. But you know, I'm like, as a kid, you're gonna watch what they're doing rather than like, you know, listen to what they're saying. So those were my role models, right? Those are my role models, like true story. Those are my role models. And then pretty much like my mentor, like when he came into my life, he was able to expose me to different stuff. So like now it's like, okay, like I, you know, I know it was more, but like I'm not able to see it. Like I just see how I could get it, and I could get it in the streets. But you know, my mentor, he exposed me to that, like taking me on my first flight, we going to San Diego, exposing me to like, you know, a bunch of different people, allowing me to play organized basketball. I'm not just playing street ball no more. I'm going, you know, I'm playing with like, um, you already know. So like, like I'm playing with like, you know, like different people from different backgrounds, and like, you know, I'm getting back screened and they running plays, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like I don't understand it. And you know, it was just like a good experience. So like now it's just like I'm diversifying, I'm being able to see different things, and I'm being able to experience different things, and I'm seeing like different environments. Like, okay, like out here, like they live in the sticks, and like I know they ain't having gunshots at 12 o'clock in the afternoon and laying on the floor. So like I'm able to see different things. And so like just him being able to like expose me to that, like it was the main thing was exposure. It was the main thing that he did. I'm like forever grateful, because I can't like, you know, repay him back for that. And that's just like the main thing that he did for me, like that changed my life, is exposure. Like take me, like we go to San Diego, we go to Hollywood, see the Hollywood stars, like always making sure like I was able to work out, like he picking me up, like me, all my brothers like having us together, and just working us out, and like just installing, you know, different things in me. Like, and another one of the things that he always installed with me was that like he would always put it this way, like he would say, Daiquan, like you play basketball, like right now, he would say like there's 7 billion people on this earth, like, you know, the odds of you making the NBA, he would break down the exact numbers, like all odds is against you to make the NBA. Like, yeah, you can work hard and you can do whatever, but like all odds is against you. Like it's 0.001%. Like he would break everything down, all of the numbers. And he would tell me that from a kid. And he would just say like, but the main goal is to pretty much get your education. Like you get your education, you don't make the NBA, you don't play pro ball, like I'm happy. He's like, you you going up against kids, like when you go to sleep after you're done working, this after we done worked out 2 or 3 times already. He's like, you can't work out enough. Like you go to sleep, there's a kid in China right now who about to work out. Like while you sleep, somebody is always working. And he just put that in my mindset. Like that's really like what kind of like installed that into me. Like I can't let nobody get one up on me. And like I ran with like the NoLackin, because that really was like the embodiment of like how I was living my life like every single day. Like I can't let nobody get one up on me. I know when I go to sleep, somebody's gonna be working harder than me. So I'm gonna work out 3-4 times today. And while I'm asleep, they gonna get their one workout in. I'm still gonna like have the best chances to like get to where I wanna go. So like that's, you know, where the NoLackin like really attached itself to me, and was just like embodied and embedded into like my DNA. So it just like stands for like being relentless in the pursuit of your goals. So being relentless in the pursuit of your goals. And then one of my homies, Will Parks, he was playing for the Eagles in the beginning of the year, but playing for the Denver Broncos right now. Will, like, huh?
Safety.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, shout out to Will. So like Will, like while he was in Arizona in college, like he was reading the Bible one day, and he like texted me a picture, like, bro, like, you know, NoLackin is in the Bible and everything. And he sent me the verse. It was Psalms 34:9, and it says like, fear the Lord, you his holy people, for those who fear the Lord lacks nothing. So like, you know, that was like powerful and dope too as well. Like this in the Bible as well.
I call that it's confirmation, not coincidence.
For sure.
It's not a coincidence that it happened. That was confirmation that it is what you said it is.
Right. Most definitely.
That's so dope for you to share that, because it's important for people to hear. Like, well, let me ask you, like, how did you find, like, how did the mentor, like, did you seek the mentor, or did the mentor seek you?
Nah, he kind of just like I was playing ball. I can't really recall the exact place that I was playing ball. Just like in the hood with my friends, whatever we was playing, and I think I was playing in a league. It's called La Liga del Barrio. Like I'm from Badlands. Like we got a lot of Spanish people, and I was playing in La Liga, I think, and he saw me playing in La Liga, and he was just like, you know, like this kid right here, he's special, whatever the case may be. And then like he just approached me, and he was just telling me like he want to help me out, whatever the case may be. I was like, all right, whatever. Like you gotta like talk to my mom. It's my mom. My mom was like, cool, like single parent, like she doing 2-3 jobs, whatever the case may be. Like if you gonna help my son stay out of the streets, like whatever it is, like cool. So, you know, that's what he did. Like he kept his word. He made sure I was good. He treated me like I was his son. And you know, he always made sure that I had food. He always made sure that I was like pretty much like he treated me like a son. And he just, you know, steered me in the right path, made sure I was focused on the right things, like kept me away from distractions, like anything I ever needed, like he was there for, like he provided it, like, you know. So it was a great, you know, person to have. Like, so just now knowing that was like pretty much like one of the most vital things in like my growth, and like allowing me to have that tunnel vision that you talk about, and just being able to grow and blossom into the person that I am today. I'm real big on like mentorship, and real big on coming back into my community, like being somebody that the kids can touch, being somebody that the kids can see, showing them that, you know, it's still like positive things that you can do. Just being able to educate them, you know, that's hence to why I'm doing everything I'm doing with my businesses now. I just want to be able to show them, like, you know, there's different options, because like I told you before, like coming up where I come up is 3 options. You can be a rapper, like, and that's one of the most prominent things now. Like you a rapper, you're gonna be in the streets, or you just, you know, you're gonna be an athlete. So like, you know, now they're able to see somebody like Daiquan. He from where I'm from. Like he walked these same streets, went to the same schools, like, and he made it out. And not only did he make it out, like he here, and he giving us the blueprint, and we can see like, all right, it's a different option. So like just me being able to like come back into my neighborhood, do the things that I'm doing now, and just like help the youth. Like that's really my main focus. Like I just had the quote co-drive. Like while I was in college, I did the book bag drive, giving the book bags to the kids. But just mentorship, man, being able to get the kids while they're young and just like teaching them like all the things that I know now at a young age, being able to guide them in the right path. Like I know there's gonna be a lot of kids that's going to choose to be, entrepreneurs, choose to, you know,
That's the
become.
new rappers. That's what I would love for it to be, for entrepreneurship to be the new rap game or the new
Right.
drug game or the new athletic game. Because,
Not for sure.
a lot of times we see what, like the pay scale, right? It's like athlete entertainers number one, lawyers number two, doctors number three.
Yep.
But we all know the real number one is business owner,
Yep.
right? Business owner is unlimited. And that's what I would love. That's why I love, the fact that we can have this conversation and have it recorded and have it saved, and we can share it to like you said, to the youth, and make them see that, oh, okay, like because a lot of kids, like I say, you were blessed. Like a lot of kids aren't talented enough to where they can have a mentor want to
And
do that. You know what
right.
I mean?
And then
Like I
somebody.
wasn't. I was not good enough in sports to have, and in our culture we don't have like nerd mentors. We don't have someone like, damn, this kid's smart, he's like, he uses his brain, like let me hop him on and let me expose him to the STEM program or this and that. It's like in our culture is, you can't sing and dance or you can't do some type of athletic ability, like you're not gonna have no mentor just tap in with you and say, let's go there and let me make sure that you are set up for success, or let me instill
Yeah.
in you, you know what I mean?
But even then, like you ain't got nobody that look like you that's into those things. And then on top of that, you ain't got nobody that you consider cool. Like I'm somebody that I feel as though like a kid is going to connect with you. Like you look like me, like you cool, like what you doing is cool. Like I like the things that you do. I can connect with. Like you dress like me, like you wear hats, like you wear nice clothes. You feel me? Like you rock chains, like, and you feel me? Like you're not trying to wear a suit if you don't have to. Like I wear suits if I want to, like, or if like that's just the occasion. But like majority of the time, like I'm wearing my own gear. Like I'm wearing some jeans. Like I'm wearing
It's
forces.
showing, it's showing that you could be just like Mark, you doing just like Mark Zuckerberg, that's how they dress, and it's exposing, the youth or youngins or adults or whoever. It's exposing to the fact that there's no set way, there's no specific way you have to do something, like right now everything is more about the value that you bring to a situation. Looks
Right.
is outdated. I remember when it's like tattoos, at one point tattoos is like, what? And then like,
Right.
there's no way you can get a job now. It's like, and
Right.
that was like 2015.
You already know, right? No, for sure, for sure. You get certain tats, and they was going up. Like they was just like writing you off pretty much. But
Yeah,
I like what you said about Mark Zuckerberg, bro. I gotta like bring that up because like in a lot of people's minds, like especially like older people, they'll say like you have to dress a certain way, or you'll think of a businessman, and like they won't look at somebody like me as being a businessman, but I'm a businessman. That's what I am. You feel me? At the same time, it's like you'll look at a Mark Zuckerberg. Like, when have you ever seen Zuckerberg in a suit? Like, the dude wear the same thing every single day. Like,
unless he's testifying.
the most richest man in the world. You only seen him wear a suit when he go to court. Like, and somebody saying like they about to sue Facebook. You feel me? So like it's just these stigmas and like all of these barriers that need to be like broken down. Because yeah, like they just it's just not true, bro. Like in today's world and where the society is going.
Exactly. And like you said, exposure, that's why I love this conversation is where I like you exposing, your experiences and what you're doing, because that shows, oh, okay, you know, now that I seen this conversation, it's like now I can have a game plan of what I need.
For sure, for
Person
sure.
like me, I always knew, like I wasn't always told. I was told, like, mom and grandma, that you could do great things, but I never heard that reinforcement. And I always wanted to get the game, but I never was able to get it.
Right.
So that's why I like making the credentials, because it's like you got the game and now you're passing it along. And I like learning. From this conversation already, I've learned so much, and I always have a weird, my own conspiracy theory, and I always like to think that, especially for being a black male, like you need some type of male mentor that looks like you to really take you there,
All day,
and really
bro.
unlock that greatness in you.
You got to.
And to
It's
unlock the greatness,
imperative, bro.
because I'm not really concerned about being good. Like, it's easy to be good, but to be great, to be amazing, to really change, like, because I remember one time I even did some research. I'm like, let me just Google three random people. I'm like, Patrick Mahomes. Oh, you had a pops. Kobe Bryant. You had a pops. Michael Jordan. You had a pops. And then every time I randomly do a check, like somebody's really successful, and I hear, oh yeah, my dad was there, mom was there. It's like, word. And it's not that they were super rich. It's not about having a family that's super rich or comes from money, but it's about just like you said, the exposure of someone like you that you feel comfortable with, you feel like can really that believes in you to really get you there,
Right.
so that's
Most
dope,
definitely.
because
Yeah,
like I
that's
said,
it's just
no, I was just gonna say, like, I wanted to know your secret, to be honest. I was like, how did you get there? Because what you telling me is like you had the recipe for another failed project, you know, but hearing it, it's like, oh, okay, you had a mentor. Okay, makes sense now.
right.
And it's not, it's just like a thing to be aware of like the importance of that. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have one, you know, put yourself out there to find one. That's what you did.
Mentorship is
You have to put
important,
yourself out
bro.
there.
Like
You
that
wanted to think about
guidance.
it.
It's important, bro. Mentorship is important. That guidance is important. Like getting somebody that looks like you that can help you. It don't matter what the person really look like. Honestly, my mentor was Uruguayan. He don't
Yeah,
look like me
that's
at all.
real.
But
That's
like, just somebody that's genuine, that's gonna connect with you, that's always gonna be honest with you, tell you the truth, whether you like it or not. Gonna hurt your feelings sometimes, but just genuinely got the best for you. Like I can literally say, like between like me and all my friends, like that is dead, like was in the streets, or in jail. Like the difference between me and them was like I had a mentor, like in every kid in my life, because like we all don't have no dads like in our lives. Our dads are either in jail, just not there, and the only difference now, like just talking to you, between me and them, like so that's like a difference between somebody being dead and being able to live their life until they're at the point of 25, 26, 27, 30 years old, and or not being in jail, is having a mentor. Like that's crazy, bro. Just thinking about that, like how important like mentorship is, because even on the business side, bro, the only thing that's got me to the point where I'm at is understanding that I have to invest in mentorship. Somebody that's been through what I've been through, somebody that's failed hundreds of times, thousands of times, and they can help me accelerate my process to where as though I can invest in them and I can pay for all of their failures and I had to go through it myself and take 10 years like they did to get there. I can now give you some money. You can help me out, give me the information that I need, and I can fast track myself to success and get into that level where you are and passing you. So
And like you said, it's a good point. Mentorship doesn't require, like, them looking like you per se. It's more about the person's intentions. I definitely agree with you in that, but it is just really, 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 really important. And I just like people to be aware of that, like,
right,
because we're at the age where, people, if you have kids, thinking about kids, or what I'm saying, or if you are a kid, it's like, you know, this is wisdom. Learn from the past, and that way you don't have to experience it. Some things you just got to experience. You can't get wisdom from it, but you know, fast tracking and unlocking that greatness, that mentor is very, very vital. And a couple more questions I had about just basketball, because I was always curious. I played high school basketball, was not
right.
nearly as good as you. So like college, right? So You choose UCF. Like what was your major there? And like why'd you choose it?
Bro, so I had, so like I was undecided, bro. Like I said, like nobody in my family like really been to college, bro. I'm the first person in my family been to college. My mom dropped out of high school in 11th grade. Had my sister, had me, and like I'm just the first person being able to experience that. So like I don't know what's going on, like in even like like our I guess like administrators or like whoever is in place, like I didn't really have a good person to explain to me like what was going on, how these things work. But I had my teammates, and they was like, "Bro, take this major. It's super easy. This is what you do." And I majored in. I just tell people communications because it's just the easiest to say. But it was called interdisciplinary studies.
Okay.
So IDS. I just had an option to pick like 2 or 3 things that I like in a minor, so that I can pretty much continue to play basketball and do my work. So that's what I had because I was undecided. I didn't want to like pick something like business or communications because I didn't have any idea. I'm like, okay, like I want to go to the NBA and I want to go to play, you know, pro basketball overseas, whatever the case may be. What am I going to use? The only thing I could think of is like communications and like being a broadcaster after I'm done and I retired. Like that's my mindset in college, like not that many years ago. It's like, all right, after I'm done my basketball career, I'm gonna be a broadcaster. Like everybody say, I got a nice smile, whatever. That's what I'll do. So that was it for me, bro.
Yeah, it's funny because I thought the same way too. Like Stuart Scott, like I was like, yeah, let me do the broadcaster because, like
Right.
you said, I didn't even know, bro, when I was making my college choice about in-state tuition. I didn't even know that was a real thing. I didn't even. I just only reason why I applied to UCF, I'm like they're probably the cheapest of a decent school, so let me just go there. And
Right.
like you said, like we don't have the game plan of like
Nothing,
this is
bro.
how you take this is how you take advantage of college.
Right.
Like these are the things you should and shouldn't be thinking about. It's like if you were
Crazy,
thinking about your
bro.
basketball, it's like you probably would maybe do something like finance or accounting and like, okay, this is how I stack up my money and this is how I protect my money, but it's like we not even on that type of time. Is
Right, for sure.
because like you say, you don't even have no one say, oh, I went to college. Yeah, this is what you do, this is what you don't do.
Exactly. Like you ain't got mommy and daddy in the house. Like they both got their corporate jobs and they've been through the Ivy League college and they able to tell you like, hey, this is what, like in-state tuitions and things like that, scholarships. If you go out of state, this is how much it's gonna be. Like you don't know that. Like
Yeah,
student loans and you're gonna have this much. You gotta think about that.
exactly.
So
Exactly.
we
It's
learning on the fly.
exactly. And I always think about it too. And I think about my perspective because, you know, thinking about it, I sometimes wonder what I even go to college. Now knowing that I'm an entrepreneur route and like a sales management business route, I always think to myself like, damn, if I knew what I knew now, would I even go to college? Is it worth it? Because to me, college is really for networking. In my opinion, the format now it's about what school can get you opportunities for good internships and then just like your student base, the chances of success, because no one cares about your major. You know what I'm saying? I was sports management. That was a waste of a degree, to be honest with you. Like I didn't really learn anything. And I'm just in college because I thought I had to be in college, and I wasn't even like aware to do the research of like, okay, if this is my set career, what do I need? Like, what are the requirements, and and things of that nature. Like, and so I always think about like, would it even make sense to me in my situation? But um, to go back to your situation, so let's say you can go back to freshman year, and how would you attack like the college basketball player process different, or would you attack it the same? Like how'd you attack it, and like would you attack it different?
You saying right now, if I could go back my same mentality knowing what I know,
Yeah.
for one, like I'll tell you right now, freshman year, like as far as basketball, bro, like I'll put everything. I don't have no regrets in basketball. I put everything, my all into it. Like freshman year, it would be me and my teammate Matt Williams. We would be in the gym like all day long. After the game, like even all the way up to my senior year, I was the one shooting 200 shots. I missed a free throw or I missed a 3 pointer. Like I was right back in after the game, shooting shots with my brother Dante. Getting shots. He rebounded for me. I'm on the gun, or I'm just right out there practicing the move that I messed up on, wherever the case may be. And like it would be funny because like opposing coaches would see that and like they would stop me and talk to me and things like that. But that's just my mentality and like what I would do. I don't have no regrets like when it comes to like going back. So like I don't really like think about like if I could go back because I left everything out. Like that was my mentality. Like NoLackin, like and relentless, bro. So like I did everything that I could possibly do on my end as far as like putting in work. Like it wasn't a lack of, because of a lack of effort. Like that was another one of my things. Like it's not going because of a lack of effort. Like if I fell, not because of a lack of effort. I always put in the work. Like I was never lacking, bro.
I love that. I love that. And that's good to hear too, because sometimes people need to hear just giving your all. You know what I'm saying? As long as you give it your all, you won't have regrets. Because that's how I feel about college. I mean, I said that I wouldn't consider it, but the reason why I never said I don't regret it, because I made the most out of the college experience.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I purposely, if I'm gonna have to go to college, let me make sure I make the most out of this experience. So I like the fact that you said that, you let it all out and you comfortable because you knew what time it was. You knew this was an opportunity. You from badlands, now you in UCF, nice out of campus. You know
I ain't about to take that opportunity for granted, bro. Like I'm gonna take advantage of the opportunity and the lifetime of the opportunity when it presented itself. So that was my mindset, as well as like one thing that I would do, bro. I would tell you I would network a lot more. I would have networked a lot more. So like that's one thing. I would network and I probably would have had a lot more fun because like I really used to lock myself in the gym. Like I would be like in the gym like nonstop. But like at that time, like my goal was to go to the NBA, and that's what I felt like I had to do, and like that's what I had to do. So like I don't regret it, but like going back, I would have had more fun. I would have been way more loose, and I would have networked more. Like us as athletes, like one thing that I know, we're like really sheltered off. Like especially me being from North Philly, like I'm only going to like rock with whoever I rock with. Like these my homies, like these my teammates. I'm cool with my teammates. Like if I don't know you, like you feel me, like I'm super polite, I'm super nice, but like we ain't about to like kick it, like or like you feel me, like go out with each other or nothing like that. So like, just opening up and knowing I know I would have networked a lot more, because like a lot of people that I did network, and just because I was always a polite person, just connecting with you, bro. So like just being, you feel me, like one of those like good people that's always like polite and like you can approach, and like I'm not like ever like bro like get out of here, you feel me, like I'm down to earth, like somebody that's approachable. I would have definitely networked a lot more and just like had a lot more fun. I would have like met a lot more people, because all of the people that I do know from UCF, like they're still some of my like you said, good acquaintances, good friends. Like I can always like reach out to those people because I was that genuine person, and they know that I was like a cool person, just like you reached out to me. You feel me, bro? And it was always like love with whoever I had came across, but I just would have spread a lot more than that. We went to school with 60,000 people, and like you don't know what people are doing now. You feel me? So like I would have definitely networked a lot more.
So now let me ask you a different question, right? So now you're an entrepreneur, you know what I'm saying? You own businesses, and let's say you now going back to freshman year at UCF, how would you structure your academics to like best help you get even further than where you're at right now, and you're doing pretty well for yourself? Because networking would be one of those things, but also like I would love for you to share like what would be your mindset in terms of, you know what I'm saying, like all right, I know I'm going to NBA. At the same time, I also know I want to be an entrepreneur. So like, how would
Right.
you set up your academics and your major to tailor that?
Yeah, so like to be real with you, bro, like I've had this brand since high school. I was an entrepreneur. I was a
Oh,
business
okay.
in
Okay.
college.
Damn.
I was
Okay, that's
selling
dope.
shirts in college, bro. Like I was an entrepreneur before I knew what the word was. You
Mm-hmm.
feel me? So like a lot of things, like when you say like you go back, like I was doing that. Like
Mm-hmm.
now I understand like the structure and like getting an LLC and being able to structure your business the right way and know about credit and how to build that. Like a lot of the things that I was doing is like building a personal brand, like
Mm-hmm.
having a brand. Like my coaches, like in UCF, they were like they thought that somebody was like funding, giving me shirts and money to like buy the shirts, and they would be like, "Oh, you can't do that because it's against the I forgot like the code of conducts and the
Yeah.
rules with the NCAA." And I'm like, "What? Like y'all making this up or y'all just like serious?" Like they're like, "How are you getting the money?" I'd be like, in a meeting, like because like me, I felt like I had to lie. Like I was like, my mom is helping me out with like giving me money to make the shirts and stuff like that because like that's just like I don't know why I even lied about it. Like
Mm-hmm.
using the money that the school is giving me, like from like the refund checks, and
Yeah.
I'm buying shirts, bro, and I'm selling the shirts. Like that's what I'm doing. Like I'm using
Yeah.
the refund checks, and I'm buying shirts, and I'm selling the shirts. Like that was the truth, but I just felt like they wouldn't believe that. So
Mm-hmm.
I just like lied about it, like, oh, my mom is helping me out, and she did it. Like they thought I had like an investor or something like that. So like now, like when my coaches see me now, and it's like, all right, like damn, like that really is his brand. Like he really was doing. I'm like, what y'all thinking? Like nobody is behind me. Like this is all from the muscle. Like this is me. Like this is what I'm doing. So like I was always an entrepreneur, bro. I was always thinking about life after basketball, and that came from my mentor. Like he was putting that in my head. Like, what you gonna do? Like, you gonna dribble a basketball for so long, and like that shit is gonna be over. Like, who are you gonna be? As a person. Like I always live by a quote. It's like if I'm only known for my life and what I've done as a basketball player, and I've done a terrible job with the rest of my life. If that's all people really remember me for, is being a good basketball player. Whereas though like now people know me for like being a basketball player, but like me being a businessman is like overshadowing anything that I did in basketball. Like me being like a philanthropist, giving back, me being somebody a positive role model. Um, that those type of things are like overshadowing anything that I've done in the basketball world. So like, yeah,
That's that's dope. I do remember you trapping out the NoLackin hats. And now that
yeah,
yeah, I was only there for a little bit, so I think I might have bought
you
maybe a
probably did, bro. You
blue
probably
shirt.
did, bro.
I think you had like a blue like NL shirt. I think I
Uh,
might have copped it. Because and you were you did have like the start of entrepreneur sales. 'Cause I remember you were good with like following up on text and stuff like that. And that's so like let me like would you so just to give me some type of answer, because let's say like there's like a high school basketball player or football player that isn't what you're on, like what you were on, like in terms of you already were doing it, you just didn't know what it was called. You
for
know what I'm
sure.
saying? So not every like for me, I didn't know about sales and entrepreneurship until I started doing like a sales job. That's
Right.
what then that was like my mentor. I was like, oh, okay, this is what I can do, this is what I can't do, and these are the possibilities. So let's say, like I said, you got like a freshman football, basketball player, and they see you, they're inspired by you, but they've never had the courage or the wherewithal to start it. Like what would you say would be like a good way for them to build into what you're doing?
A good way for a freshman to build into what I'm doing, I would just say like keep your options open. Like I'm not saying not to pursue your basketball or your college or your football, whatever you're playing, like as an athlete. I'm not saying not to pursue that. But you gotta understand, like you look at the average lifespan of an NFL player, they're like 2 years now. Like NBA player, you'll see them like they gone from the NBA and you out of the league, bro. Like them people that stand 18, 15 years, like those are like the elite of the elite. Not saying that you can't be that, not saying that you are not that, but like the odds is stacked against you, and that's just the odds, bro. And like I've been a basketball player, believing in myself like to the highest, ability. But just putting all your eggs in one bucket, like yes, put your eggs all in one bucket and go all out. You also need to educate yourself on how the real world works, because that's where you're going to be operating at the majority of your life. You're not going to be operating as a basketball player. Even the Kobe's and the LeBron's, like LeBron got like, you can say what, 5 years, you can say 10 years if you want left. Like, okay, he played 20 years in the league, 20 plus years, but like, how old is LeBron? 35? Like, he's gonna be 40 when he retires? 40? Did I say he played till 45? Okay, you're 45 years old now. He's gonna have another 20, 30, 40, 50 years of life to live. And he's gonna have to operate differently than he was when he was, a basketball player. So I would just always say, bro, like, learn, like, you need to educate yourself on credit, because even when you get to the NFL, like I got a lot of friends, a lot of clients, you feel me, like acquaintances that are in the NFL, that are in the NBA, that I'm helping get LLCs. I'm helping them build credit, like personal credit. They have cash, but they don't have no credit. Like, and then another thing is like, as 18-year-old, 19, 20, 22, whatever the case may be, 18 or 25, you going in the NBA, NFL, and you getting this influx of money. You don't know how to like really operate with that type of money because you've never had it before. And you start to get these, I guess, like jitters to where as though, you want to purchase and splurge and get all the things that you always wanted to get, but like you don't like you don't have a solid foundation to where as though like you really understand like how money works. You can, be responsible with your money and just do the right thing. So it just starts with like, just a foundation of like being educated. Like, educate yourself, bro. Like, don't try to delegate and push everything off to your agent, or think like, oh, I'm gonna have a money guy that's gonna handle my money. Because like you can see like the track record of how many of these people been like been scorched and got their money, stolen or taken away because they didn't know these things. Like, and you in college, you don't have that much time. Because I remember being an athlete, but you can make time to be able to like do some research on these things, because it's not difficult at all for you to be able to do those things. I was just reading on a kid who just he took his stipends. Like, I was taking mine and I was buying like shirts and reselling the shirts and making money. Like, he took his stipends and he brought a property. He took his stipend and brought a property. So it's just different things that you can tap into to be able to like put you ahead of time. Like, if I was a freshman, like going from 2012, like just knowing now, like being able to have like 2012 to like 2021, having like 9-10 years of credit history, bro. Like, knowing what I know, like it would be disgusting right now.
What made you create the cheat code, and what is the cheat code? What is it about? I know it's a little bit about credit, but what is it exactly?
So the cheat code is just pretty much exactly what it says, like in the subtitle. It's like the tips and strategies to help you unlock good credit. Like, that's all it is. I'm teaching you how to build a 750 credit score, showing you what the banks look at when they look into your credit report and they, want to give you loans. Like, if you want to get approved for car and home loans, I'm showing you like the foundation that you need to have in order to make sure that you get approved. I'm showing you dispute methods where you can dispute negative items off your credit report within 2 weeks, and I'm showing you information that's really hidden from us that we don't understand or don't know, where you can go and make these disputes and get results super quick. So I'm giving out a bunch of game, as well as like a lot of other digital products. I have, like, if you go on my website, DIYcheatbook.com, you'll be able to see like all of the digital products that I have. So on top of me giving you all of that information, like, I have other digital products and all under $100. So you'll be able to get them, and like you'll be able to use those products like and make your money back like in an hour, really. Like, if you're like a a real hustler, like you can make your money back off those products like super quick, or just somebody being able to buy the 24-hour TransUnion removal digital product that I have, whereas though you can go into your phone, look at your credit report, delete all of the collections off your TransUnion credit report within minutes. Like it's not even 24 hours. It should be the 10-minute, like, you feel me, system. So like you can it's worth so much, like the knowledge that I'm just giving out. Like it's free. Like what I'm like, the price point on there, like the price versus the value, like it doesn't make sense. So like I've been able to delete over 150,000 in collections just by using that method, like in a month for like clients. So, like it's really like helping a lot of people. So it's like I'm now giving you I'm not hiding any of the information. I'm now giving you like the opportunity to be able to purchase these products and do the same thing for yourself, for your family. Like I'm not putting handcuffs on you and telling you like you can only do this, that, and third with the information. Like, no, use the information and make money off of it. Like that's what you got it for. Like I'm giving you all the letters that you need to go ahead and dispute things. The same letters that I use for my clients to dispute items, negative items off of your credit report. I'm showing you the secondary reporting agencies, telling you who they are, how to suppress your information on those. So like, if you've been evicted from an apartment or whatever, I'm showing you who hold that information so that you can suppress that information and go get a new apartment without having them see your eviction on your credit report. So these type of things are, like I'm saying, like the amount of value that you're gonna get, from purchasing the ebook, like is an infinite return on your investment. So like I just try to put as much value into it as possible. So, and like adding those digital products, I wanted to add like more stuff that people could, be able to have.
Okay. So that's amazing. One, and the fact that you get a chance, 'cause I see you on your Instagram, you get a chance to like really help your community. You know what I'm saying? And that's the dope part in you having the knowledge of financial literacy and credit literacy, if you want to be more specific, and the fact that you're opening up and flooding the block with information is a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's you got the cheat code out, and at the
Right.
same time, I've been wanting to have a conversation like this because, like I said, I see you grow from afar, and is dope to watch. You know what I'm saying? And that's like the beauty of social media, and fact that like I wouldn't call us friends. I call us acquaintances.
Right.
That's something that people should learn, that it's okay to have acquaintances that you hit up randomly and we kick it and we talk and it's just boom, boom, boom.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? You could provide value, I could provide value. That's what it is. And we watch
All
each
day.
other from afar, and that's okay. And that's perfectly fine. And
Right.
those be some dope ass relationships. You know what I'm saying? Where it's
All the
just
time,
like,
bro.
I don't gotta hit you. I don't have to, we're not maintenance and all that. It's just, hey, you know what
Right.
I'm saying? We both trying to get it. So when we have a chance to link up, we're gonna try to link up and we're gonna
All
try to have
day.
a conversation. You know
And
what
that's how some of me and my best friends are. Like
I'm saying?
we that same exact way. So
Exactly. So like I said, let's say I'm someone that like I'm like you, I want to make an ebook, except I don't want to do it on credit. I want to do it on something else. Like what's that process like to make an ebook, and like did you do it on your own or did you hire someone? Like what's that like?
you making me give out more game, a lot of more free. So like, all right. So here go. This is another cheat code. So like, if you go to your app store, right, there's something called Fiverr. So what Fiverr is, it has a lot of freelancers. So no matter if like you got a apparel company where you want to make designs, you want to create an app and put it on the app store. You want somebody that know how to do coding. You gotta, I don't know, like you want to write a book and you just have the audio files and you don't want to type it up. You can go on Fiverr and you can literally create a job, let them know, hey, I'm creating an ebook. I wrote down all of the steps and this is what I want. And they'll write it. You can have them put the graphics on there and they'll do it for under $50 too. So you'll set the price and you can ask them. You can see their work that they've done before and you can get that done. So like with pennies. So another cheat code for you.
Yeah. That was a personal question.
And if you're a true hustler, you will understand what you can do with that. Like you will understand the services that you can now market and say that you know how to do, and use Fiverr as a third party company, have them do it, and you get paid for it on the back end. So like if you're in college or whatever the case may be, like you don't have no money, you can use that platform, find somebody, partner up with them, or just tell them like, hey, I got this guy, or start your business and you can promote it on your Instagram. Like you need graphics or you need whatever the case may be, bro, whatever you need, you can now be the middleman for that. Like they want $20 for it, you can charge $60 for it, and you keep $40 into your pocket. All you did was just middleman and you had somebody make it and you got the money. So there you go. That's what a lot of people do. That's what a lot of companies do. But that's just another way for you to like make money. And if you like really like understand the importance of that, you can make a lot of money from it.
What made you realize the importance of your credit score and credit?
So like 2016 was my senior year, and I was just really like exposing myself to like audio books and things like that. Like I had friends who would give me like Rich Dad Poor Dad, those books. I didn't read those books in college, but they gave them to me in college, and I read them after I got out of college. And I was like, wow, I didn't read this book before. You feel me? So like those type of books helped me, like and just listening to podcasts. So I was listening to Eric Thomas, E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher, and he actually, it was Bob Proctor. I was listening to Bob Proctor, Bob Proctor, listening to him, listening to E.T. Actually, it was E.T. E.T. was talking about Bob Proctor. I started listening to Bob Proctor, and I heard E.T. started to mention Grant Cardone. And that's when I really started to like learn how the world really worked. Like, everybody's a salesperson. Like, no matter what you're doing in the world, like you're selling yourself. Like in the Celebrity Store, I started like listening to all of his books, like all of his material, thinking about sales, thinking about how the world really works. And that just really put me on a path where it was just like, all right, this is, what I want to do. I always knew that. I always was thinking about life after basketball. I always knew that I wanted to be in like real estate. So like I was listening, that's why I was listening to Grant Cardone. And when he came, he really stuck to me, and he just helped me out with the sales. So just listening to those dudes, like while I was going overseas, I just, just kept listening to them like during my off time. Like if I wasn't playing ball or I wasn't in practice, I was listening to them, and I was like super focused because I was just like out there by myself, like in another country, got like one shot to go, and that's just, what it was. And I was just like super focused. So I spent all my downtime like ingesting like all of the books that I could, like listening to all of the audio that I could. I like listening to audio. So I listen to hours and hours of audio. Even right now, I start my day, I listen to audio. Like during those times, people around me, like they would just think that I'm like crazy because I would like be listening to audio right here. And, weird, like what's wrong with this boy? Like he keep listening to the same thing over and over again. And I still listen to those same audios every morning, listening to them every morning. One is like Bob Proctor, listening to him every single morning, just talk about manifestation, just talk about like helping me like start to think about, things that I'm thinking about, like how I really think, how I really perceive the world. Just like helping me out with a bunch of those things. Just understanding that your thoughts have like power, and just being able to manifest the things that you want, like controlling your thoughts. Like so, those things really helped me out. It was like audio and listening to those.
You already covered one of my questions was, do you listen to audiobooks and what's your suggestions? Because like you, I love audio because for me, it's challenging for me to read, honestly. It's just I just wasn't raised on it. It's not fun to me. It's not exciting.
Most definitely, bro.
And but at the same time, what they say is if you want to keep something away from a black person, put it in a book. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
no.
And when I got Audible, I was like, that's when that quote hit me because while I'm listening to these books, like Napoleon Hill is my favorite author. You know what I'm saying? Outwitting the Devil changed my life. And my friend recommended to me, and I met him through my sales job, and that changed my life forever. Just
The devil changed my life.
Outwitting the Devil,
Okay,
Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, and
cool.
and
Yeah, I read like the laws of success and Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, but
yeah,
never.
yeah,
And Think and Grow Rich by Derek Kimbrough, like the one for African Americans. So
okay. Derek Kimbrough.
yeah, Derek Kimbrough.
Okay,
He's like he wrote the Think and Grow Rich for Black people. So
I gotta peep it. I gotta peep that. I gotta.
yeah, he'll like give you stories of like Black people, but
Yeah,
it's just like no Napoleon Hill's like majority like white people. He'll tell you like what they've done, but like he'll just give you like his narration of Think and Grow Rich, like and give you examples of like Black business people who were like super wealthy and like manifested and like the hard work that they did and like their quotes and their thoughts. So it's the same thing as Think and Grow Rich, but it's just like like something that people we could identify people that look like us and help us. Either one of them, they're both good to me, but I read both. So
man, and you read too. Like you read books.
not lately. I haven't been reading. I've been doing like straight audio, bro, because like it's just a lot more easier to do the audio with everything that I got going on now. But like as I said, like I'm hiring a VA and I'm like writing stuff down to like talk to my VA and delegate a lot more of my work. So that I'm not working in my businesses so much, like I'm just working on them, and I can be able to like do a lot more with my time, being able to be more productive with it.
Yeah, that's dope, and I'm just glad like you actually use Audible a lot because, like I said, I'm a big fan of it, and I support it because that's books are where all the information is. It's like what Jim Quick says: you can download decades of data in days. That's the a lot cheaper way to find a mentor because we talked about mentorship and how guidance is the key. That's really the X factor. Mentorship and guidance is really the X factor into, and then there's super outliers because that's we're not saying it's the only way. There's outliers of like people who didn't have guidance or anything, like grew up in even worse situations and became successful. However, I'm just trying to be an advocate of the easier way and the less painful way is through seeking mentorship and guidance, and whether it be a person or an Audible book or
Right,
Apple Podcasts or Spotify podcasts, any type of way, there's different. Audio is just a game changer. It just unlocked a lot of different ways to consume information without having to. Because when you read, you also limit yourself to like, I just gotta read. I can't do nothing.
right,
I can't like an audio book. I could listen to the book and type. I can listen to the book and make phone calls. I can listen to the book and make food, cook
right.
dinner. So that's dope. And it's I don't. There's not a lot of people in our culture that like that. No, I don't even know about really or really understand like Audible and Apple and Spotify.
Bro, listen, I don't even like all of those platforms that you're saying is like giving somebody an excuse they don't have the money. Like I listen to most of my audios on SoundCloud. I got SoundCloud
Okay.
and I get them for free. I just type it in, Bob Proctor, Eric Thomas. Like I'll just listen to Eric Thomas. Like when I was coming out of college and like playing overseas and stuff. Like I ain't like coming out of college, like, I was making that transition to like going to play pro ball. Like I was listening to it on SoundCloud because I had no money. So like
Mm.
that's just what I was listening to. So don't, make the excuse.
And to your point, also, I didn't know SoundCloud. I didn't know SoundCloud.
Yeah.
I learned about YouTube now that they even have books well, podcasts obviously, but books, like whole books on YouTube for free. I didn't even know. I guess once I started using Audible, they have
You'll start
data.
seeing it.
Yeah, they
You'll
have
start
the
seeing
data.
all of the like ads and everything like that. They gonna definitely like hit you up.
Like how would you say you deal with adversity, like setbacks and things of that nature? Like, so like being an entrepreneur, I understand where you get your information from, you know what I'm saying, in terms of Audible and SoundCloud and books. So now I just want to get a full perspective on, like, now how do you handle the challenges, when it's time to get the tough lessons? How do you, because a lot of times that's where a lot of people, majority, get stuck in that part, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And you've been able to figure out a way to move past that, because when you first started NoLackin apparel, just like when you probably first started credit, it wasn't like instant, yo, I'm getting to it, I'm super super successful. There was probably good success, and then there's challenges and lessons, and then you're able to navigate past that, and now you're doing bigger and better things. So like, how'd you get through that gray muddy area?
Like for one, I understand the importance of like delayed gratification. So like I'm never really a person like, of course, like I'm always looking for the fastest way to get it, the fastest way that I can, get to it. But I still understand like it's a process that everybody got to go through, and like whatever happens, like it's just a part of my story. Like that's just like a saying that I live by. It's just a part of my story, just a chapter in my book. Like it's not, my whole book. It's not, the end all be all. And plus, bro, like we talked about my upbringing and where I'm from. Just like you said, like I'm a 1%er, like I'm an anomaly. I can go to zero like tomorrow, and I know I can get it back because I did it before. And like it's literally nothing that can happen in my life that could like shake me off. So when I come across things like that, it's just I take it as just a lesson, and like I don't really take it too personal, bro.
It's showing that sometimes, and sometimes it's something I have a problem with. Sometimes that less is more. Sometimes when you're going through things, like, you have a less is more mindset. Like, let me not worry about the extra, or let me not focus on the problem. Let me just focus on the solution.
All day, bro. That's how I am. I'm solution oriented, bro. Like I'm always looking for solutions. Like if you know me and you call me and you're talking about problems all the time and you're not gonna come up with a solution, like a lot of people, they just like, I don't know, like they know not to call me with like a lot of problems because I'm like, all right, so what's the solution? Like what's the solution? What's the solution? Like how you gonna fix it? Like how you gonna make it better? Those are just the things that just like embedded into me, and that's just how I'm programmed, and that's how I operate. I'm not entitled, or I'm not like, I wouldn't say dumb, but I'm not naive enough to think that anything that I have can't be taken away. Like it's a saying that says like success is not like promised, is rented, and the rent is due like every single day, and that's the mentality that I have. Like every day I wake up, I feel like I start from zero. Like if you are somebody that talk to me like every day, like you probably hear stuff like, all right, I gotta make X amount of dollars today, because I feel like it's rented. Like none of that is mine. Like I gotta work hard every single day to get to where I want to be. So that's just my mentality. Like I don't get comfortable with like having a little bit of success. Like that's how you fall off. So I'm starting from zero every single day.